Hey everyone, my name is Taryn and I'm really excited to get to do some yoga with you again today. So this is going to be about a 30-minute hip-centered flow, usually a crowd favorite. So we'll go ahead and get started and just remember to modify if anything doesn't quite feel right. Cool. So we're going to start on our mats and we're going to start in child's pose. We're going to take a wide leg child's pose. So taking the knees about as wide as your mat, big toes can be touching, and then just slowly start to fold over yourself here. You can bring the arms above the head. And just give yourself a moment here to breathe, to think about your body. Send a little extra attention to your hips. So notice if you're holding any tension there, like you're gripping, or if they feel pretty good. A couple more breaths here. Pressing the palms into the mat, we'll come up into tabletop position. Good, so wrists are under shoulders, knees are under hips, and we'll just move through some cat-cow. So on your inhale, drop the belly, lift the chin. Exhale, belly to spine, chin to chest. Inhale, drop the belly, lift the chin. Exhale, belly to spine, chin to chest. Good. Move through a few on your own time, your own breath. So you inhale, dropping the belly. So you exhale, belly to spine. One more. Exhale, belly to spine, and then meeting in a neutral spine. Good. We're going to take our left leg out first, and it's going to come perpendicular to your mat. You're going to be grounding down through the whole foot, so through that pinky edge side of the foot, and we'll just start with some hip circles, moving in a clockwise position. Really make sure you're bending into that left knee. I'm just kind of starting to open up the hip here, bring a little movement. Good, and reverse the circle. Coming back to center, keeping the foot where it is, go ahead and walk your torso up so your shoulders stack over your hips. We're going to slide our left hand down our left leg. Right arm comes up for a nice little side stretch here. Try not to put any pressure on your knee. Place your hand kind of above the knee or below. Good. Inhaling, coming back through center, planting the hands and stepping back to tabletop. We'll bring our right foot out perpendicular to the mat, and we'll start those hip circles clockwise position. Good. And as you're doing this, try to look out so you're not crunching in on yourself. You have a nice long spine. Good. Reverse the circle. Keep pressing out through that pinky edge side of the foot. Good. Pausing, coming back to center, leaving the foot where it is and walking your torso up. Left arm comes up to the sky, so we slide our right arm down our right leg. You can take your gaze up towards your fingertips, or you can keep it neutral. Breathing here. Coming back through center. Excuse you. Placing your hands down, coming back to a tabletop position. Good. So we'll go ahead, tuck our toes, press our palms into the mat, and lift our hips up and back for downward facing dog. You might want to readjust your feet, walking them back a little. Take our right foot up, bend the right knee and do some three-legged dog hip circles here, just moving in one direction, nice big circles, then moving in the other direction, placing the right foot to meet the left, lifting the left leg up, bending the left knee, and taking those hip circles on the left side. Switch the direction, melting your heart back. Good, and exhaling, placing both feet back, downward facing dog. You might want to pedal it out here, especially if this is your first down dog of the day. If you're doing this early in the morning, you shake your head yes or no. But eventually finding a little stillness with a generous bend in the knees. As you inhale, look to the top of your mat, step your feet to meet your hands. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale for halfway lift, neutral spine. Hands can be on shins or thighs. Exhale for a forward fold, generous bend in the knees. And then as you inhale, ground down through your feet, rise all the way up to stand. Exhale, hands at heart center. Nice. Inhale, arms come up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale for halfway lift. Exhale, plant the hands, step back to downward facing dog. Inhale, right foot up. Exhale, right foot to right hand. Stay on the ball of the back foot as you inhale, rise up, crescent lunge. Good. So we're nice and long through the sides of our body. Arms can be up, reaching for the ceiling, or you can bring them to heart center or on your hips. And feet are on tight ropes, or not tight ropes, I'm sorry. Feet are not on tight ropes, they are on train tracks. So they should about be in line with your hips here. Good. Keep lunging into that front knee and pushing out through that back heel. As you exhale, place your hands on either side of your right foot. Step it back to downward facing dog. Inhale, move forward to a plank. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, left foot up. Exhale, left foot to left hand, rise up, crescent lunge, staying on the ball of the right foot, pushing back through that back heel. Good. And I like to imagine that without moving my feet, I'm trying to draw them together as if I'm trying to scrunch up the mat in between my feet underneath me. And that just kind of helps turn on some of those hip muscles there. And if you're looking to find our hips square, that can be a nice little signal there. Good. Exhale, place both hands on either side of your left foot. Step it back, downward facing dog. Inhale, roll forward to a plank. Exhale, downward facing dog. Good. Look to the top of your mat, step your feet to meet your hands in a forward fold. Inhale for a halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, ground down through your feet, rise all the way up. Exhale, hands at heart center. Very nice. Inhale, arms come up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale for halfway lift. Exhale, plant your hands, step back to plank. And exhale, back to downward facing dog. Nice. Take a couple breaths here. Feet should be about hips width distance apart. And you're pressing into all four corners of your palms. Good. Inhale, right foot up. Exhale, right foot to right hand. Rise up, warrior two. Good. So that back heel pivots down. And I always like to take a little peek and make sure my front heel is lined up with my back arch. Lunging into the front knee and arms are parallel. Good, so think about wrapping this front hip crease down and underneath you so you're not sticking your bum out. You're wrapping it down and underneath you. And then just take a look at your knee. There's a tendency for it to fall in, so make sure it's tracking over the ankle there. Good. So you inhale, reach forward with your fingertips. So you exhale, reverse warrior. Still lunging into that front knee. Bringing our right forearm down to meet our right thigh and circling our left arm up for extended side angle. Reaching through the fingertips. Keep pulling that front hip crease down and underneath you. As you inhale, come back up to warrior two. As you exhale, we'll turn both toes, both feet to face the side of the mat. And we're going to turn toes out to about 45-degree angle, sitting down into goddess pose. Good. You might need to adjust your feet a little bit. Arms can be at heart center, reaching up towards the sky. We're going to lift our right foot up, right heel up, left heel up, right heel down, left heel down, left heel up, right heel up, left heel down, right heel down. Good. As you exhale, sink a little bit lower into your goddess. As you inhale, think about lengthening through the sides, lengthening your sacrum. And then we'll come back to a crescent lunge on the right side. It's pushing out through that left foot. Exhale, left hand comes to the inside of the right foot. Right arm twist up towards the sky for a twisted lunge here. Exhale, place both hands on the ground, step it back, downward facing dog. Inhale, roll forward to a plank. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale to your plank. Exhale, downward facing dog. One more time. Inhale to your plank. Exhale, downward facing dog. Breathe. Nice. Inhale, left foot up. Exhale, left foot to left hand. Inhale to warrior two. Get your foundation set up. Get your feet set up. And then think about drawing that left hip crease down and underneath you. Good. Inhale, reach through the front fingertips. Exhale, reverse warrior. Keep reminding yourself to breathe. Left forearm to left thigh, extended side angle. And as we move through, just notice if there's any differences on your right side compared to your left side. Good. Inhale back to warrior two. And coming into goddess. I'm going to turn around so you can see me. So your toes are at about a 45-degree angle again. On your exhale, sink down into your goddess pose. And we'll start. Left heel up, right heel up, left heel down, right heel down, right heel up, left heel up, right heel down, left heel down. As you exhale, sink a little lower. If your hands are at heart center, maybe try extending them up towards the ceiling. Lengthen through the sacrum. Good. Nice. And then as you exhale, we'll come into a crescent lunge on the left side. Placing the right hand on the inside of the left foot. Left arm comes up towards the ceiling for revolved lunge. Good. Exhale, place both hands down. Step it back to downward facing dog. Inhale, roll forward to your plank. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, roll forward to your plank. Exhale, downward facing dog. One more. Inhale to your plank. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, right foot up. Exhale, right foot to the outside of the right hand for lizard. We're going to lower our back knee and untuck our toes. Now, lizard can feel a little intense, and sometimes it's hard to reach the ground. So if you have a couple blocks or some really thick books, that can be nice just to place under your hands to sort of bring the ground up to you. And we're going to be in it for a couple moments, but I would encourage you to think about your spine and extending through the crown of your head. So instead of rounding and sort of crunching in, there's a tendency to do that. We want to look out, look ahead. We'll start to bring that right foot across to the left side for pigeon. Pigeon is not available to you, totally fine. Go ahead and turn onto your back, and you can take a figure 4 stretch on your back. Those of us in pigeon will get nice and tall, and then as you exhale, slowly start to fold over yourself. And whether you're in the figure 4 or in pigeon, bring your awareness to your hip. Notice if you're holding any tension there, if you're gripping. With every exhale, to see if you can soften a little bit. As you inhale, if you're in pigeon, slowly place your hands into the mat and walk yourself back up. If you're on your back, you can just switch sides. In pigeon, go ahead and press into the mat, coming back into a downward facing dog. And then inhale, left foot up. Exhale, left foot to outside of left hand. So I'm sorry, if you're on your back, I'm going to have you flip over. And I'll have you come into lizard on your left side. I misspoke. And sometimes finding a little bit of movement in lizard can feel nice. And then we'll start to walk that left foot across to the right side, coming into pigeon or coming into a figure 4 stretch. Get on your inhale, get nice and tall. Then on your exhale, start to fold over. Again, notice if there are any differences, right side to left side. So if you're holding tension on this side, if you're gripping, with every exhale, see if you can soften. So inhale, press your palms into the mat. Come back into downward facing dog. Okay. Everyone meet in downward facing dog. From here, we'll come into a tabletop position. We're going to come into Gomukhasana. So crossing the right knee over the left, kind of bring our feet out a little bit, and then go ahead and sit back So your right knee is stacked on top of your left. This is another pose that may not feel quite right in your body today, and that's totally fine. Try it on your back. Be the same shape, just laying down. As we inhale, we're going to get nice and tall. You can even place your hand on your low back or your sacrum just to make sure you're not rounding there. Sometimes a little something under you can help. And then let your hands fall on your shins or your ankles. You can let the gaze soften. As you exhale, you can come back into a tabletop position, rocking forward gently. Uncross the legs and then cross the left knee on top. If you're on your back, you'll just switch your legs and then slowly sit back into a seat. Good. Sometimes it takes a little adjustment. Again, placing your hand on your sacrum and just making sure you're not rounding. You're sitting up. Nice extension through the spine, through the crown of the head. Nice big inhale, and then exhale, let it out. And breathe. If you're in a seat, you're going to start to lean back, putting your hands behind you and stretching your legs out long in front of you. And then we're just going to make our way onto our backs. So everyone's going to meet, pulling their knees into their chest. You can sway side to side. And we'll come into happy baby, so grabbing the outside of your feet, going in and pressing the soles of the feet up towards the ceiling or the sky. Letting the knees come down towards your armpits. Let the low back, the sacrum feel fully supported by the ground underneath you. Exhale, slowly bring your knees back into your chest. Give yourself a nice big hug. And then we'll slowly extend both legs long. Arms at your side, palms face up. Let your breath be natural. If you're having trouble In Shavasana, you can always count your breath, 1 on the inhales, 2 on the exhales, and just repeat. A few moments here in Shavasana. Your next inhale, start to bring a little awareness into your body. Maybe wiggle the fingers or the toes. Keeping the gaze soft or the eyes closed. Pick your favorite side to roll onto, pausing. Just take a moment to thank yourself for giving yourself this time to practice. Keeping the gaze soft and the eyes closed, sit up to a comfortable seat. Hands rest in the lap. You can slowly blink the eyes open. Thank you so much for practicing with me today. I hope you really enjoyed it. I know I did. And I will see you soon back on the mat.